leg line movement therapy. Oh, a couple, I like it, but not many people. Now, before I go into hypnosis, I'd like to describe a model to you, a scientific model. So if there's any neuroscientists in the audience, don't get upset with me, because it's only a model. And I'm going to explain why people end up going to see therapists, and why things get on top of us in life, and why we end up like proper stressed out with anxiety and stuff. So we start off like this. We have two sides of the brain. Okay, we've got the right side of the brain, which is the logical side of the brain. It deals like with language, your ones, your twos, your threes, and all that sort of stuff. And on the left side of your brain, we've got the emotional brain. Deals with feelings and all that sort of stuff. Now, there was a famous doctor in about 1890 called Emile Coué, and he said, if there's ever any conflict between the emotional brain and the logical brain, the emotional brain will always win. Now, you'll probably be able to relate to this. Have you ever been having a discussion with someone, maybe politics or with your partner, and things get a bit heated, and before you know it, you're saying stuff that maybe you shouldn't be saying, and when you go away and calm down for a bit, you think, shit, why did I say that? Because the emotional brain will always win over the logical brain. Now, in between these two parts of the brain, you've got a little control box. And I'm going to use this kid's toy to describe it. I love this, brilliant. It's called the amygdala, okay? And it's a thing that, it's part of our self-preservation. So it's constantly looking out for danger. So it's like this, 24 hours a day, from the moment you're born to the moment you die. And it's called the fight, flight, freeze response. So fighting is either physically, verbally, or physically. And then flight, obviously you run away, and the freeze is you curl up into a ball. And I'm sure we all can relate to those three things in our lives when we've run away from problems, or we've just curled up in a ball because it's just too much. So that's that. So what happens in life is, we basically, life's not easy, is it? It's tough. It's tough out there. So what happens is, this part of the brain that's looking out for danger, it might come across some stress and it opens up like that for a little while, and then you calm down and it shuts back down. But if you're like in an abusive relationship, or you're, excuse me, you're amongst very negative people and in high anxiety environments, this thing is going to be on steroids. And as you go through life, it's going to be opening up and opening up. And at some point, it won't be able to shut back down. And what happens is, when this is opened up like this is when you're like real like post-traumatic stress, you're getting triggered left, right and centre. And when it's open like this, the body, another part of the brain, the hippocampus it's called, starts releasing loads of chemicals into the body to protect you. The problem is, when you're someone who's suffering with high stress, this is open all the time, and all those chemicals, they're not good for the body, to be flooded in your body all the time. So that's that bit. Everyone get that? All good? Okay. So hypnosis. What is hypnosis? Does anyone know what hypnosis is? Because there's lots of different ideas about hypnosis. But I'll tell you what it is. All it is focus. That's all it is. Mainly focus and a little bit of imagination. So we probably all go into hypnosis every day of our lives. The first moment we wake up, we're in a state of hypnosis. And when we're just about to go to sleep, we're in hypnosis. Have you ever been driving a car and you're on a journey and you think, oh my God, I don't remember the last 3 roundabouts. It's completely got out of my mind because you're focused on the road. So you're in a state of hypnosis. Now, when you're in a state of hypnosis, it's been discovered that the brain, massive areas of the brain light up. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And also, when they use hypnosis in operations, there's less blood flow with the body. Myths about hypnosis. So, have you ever heard the term, I'm going to put you under? Yeah, well, that's an undertaker, isn't it? It isn't a hypnotherapist, trust me. You're going to go into a deep, deep sleep. Well, you don't actually go into a deep sleep when you're under hypnosis. When you're in hypnosis, you are actually more aware than what you normally are. In fact, if you're hypnotized in a state of trance, you're going to hear a pin drop before I would hear it. So it's a heightened state of awareness. We don't actually know exactly what's going on in the brain that creates this state. But it's really, really positive and helpful. The sort of things that it can be helpful with, stress, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, phobias, fears, anger, you name it, you can tackle it with hypnosis to some degree. And the reason why you can do that is because with hypnosis you're tapping into the unconscious or subconscious mind. So think about an iceberg, right? Like your conscious awareness, who you think you are, is only the tip of the iceberg. You're basically the huge bit at the bottom of the iceberg, and that's the bit that pretty much runs the show. We think we run the show, we don't run the show, because we're acting off all the information that's ever happened in our life. So whatever you do today is creating tomorrow. So it's quite interesting. Has anyone got any questions before I carry on about hypnosis? Quick question, anyone? Come on. Everyone.
Can you put anyone under hypnosis without them wanting to be there?
Ah, good question. Can I put someone under hypnosis that they don't want to be?
Yeah.
No. No, and also I can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. It's impossible, because this little toy thing that is called the amygdala, the protection, that will kick in, and it won't allow you to do anything against your morals, basically. So, any others? No? Okay.
Can you help people with depression, anxiety, weight loss?
Yes, weight loss.
Thank you.
I actually specialise in anxiety, stress, fears, phobias, post-traumatic stress. I don't tend to do a lot with smoking or slimming. It's not because I can't, it's just that it doesn't really interest me, and if you're going to do this sort of work, you've got to really, be interested in what you do, and obviously to be a good therapist. Do you know what? Does anyone, you don't have to take part in this if you don't want to, but what I'd like to do is show you what a hypnotic trance is like, a very light one, okay? So you don't have to take part if you don't want to. Don't worry,
It's free. It's free.
It's free. You're not going to run around like chickens unless you want to. But I can see everyone fidgeting a little bit now, I'm getting a bit worried.
You got a volunteer over here, Dave?
Well, I was gonna hypnotise everybody.
Dave, I've done that at the doormate.
Well, I'm going to hypnotise everyone to give you a bit of money on the way out. No, not really.
You can do that.
So if you want to take part in this, you can. Fantastic. If you don't, it's no problem. Okay? So you ready? Supersonic. So what I want you to do, I want you to put your arms out like that and clasp your hands together. Make sure they're nice and tight. Okay? Now remember what I said. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. So remember what I said, hypnosis is all about focus, yeah? So what I want you to do now is intertwine your fingers like that. And if you can, open them two fingers in front there by your thumbs. That's it, perfect. And try and make sure they're apart. Don't let them touch. Do your best to have them apart. So from this moment on, for those that are doing this, I want you now, remember hypnosis is focus. I want you to look at those two fingers. And don't look at anything else, and just focus on those two fingers. And keep focus on those two fingers. And I want you all to imagine I put two really powerful hypnotic magnets on the tips of your fingers. And as you focus on those fingers, you're going to find those fingers are going to tug and pull together. And you're going to find that those fingers will just want to come together. Just focus on those fingers. And as you focus, you're going to find those fingers are going to come together of their own accord. And when those fingers come together, just leave them together and just keep focused on those fingers. As those fingers are now pulling and tugging and pulling together. Okay, now I want you to imagine, if your fingers are touching, I want you to imagine you can feel your powerful hypnosis, because I don't hypnotize you, I facilitate your hypnosis. We've all got hypnosis within us. So I want you now to imagine you can feel your hypnosis moving down through your fingers, around your palms. And as you feel this sensation, I want you to imagine those fingers are completely completely stuck together, bonded together, glued together. In fact, I want you to imagine you've actually put the most powerful glue that you can imagine on those palms and those fingers. And as you focus, those fingers are going to be completely and utterly stuck together. Completely and utterly stuck together. Feel that feeling now. Just imagine what it feels like now for those fingers to be completely glued and stuck together. And as you focus on those fingers, the more stuck and the more glued and the more bonded and the more clamped together they are. And just focus, focus, focus. Now in a minute I'm going to count to 5. And when I get to 5, you're going to do your best to open them fingers, but you're going to find you're not going to be able to because they're completely and utterly bonded and glued together. So in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now those fingers are completely bonded together. Now, the people who've still got their fingers together, I want you to try and separate them. And the more you try and separate them, the more stuck and the more bonded and the more glued together they become. Totally glued, totally bonded, totally stuck together. Okay, so I'm going to come down stage. I'm just going to walk around and watch you walk. That's really good. Okay, keep focus, focus. Move your hands down. You don't have to help me. As you move down, you're going to do just going to put your hands down, just relax and just focus as your hand goes down. Just bring yourself okay, for those, can I just ask everyone just to hush a little bit for me, just while I just end this little bit. So those people whose hands are completely stuck and bonded together, I want you to imagine a really happy time in your life, a time when you felt love in your life. It may have been when you had your children, it may have been when you passed an exam, it was something really, really special. And I want you to allow that feeling to emanate throughout your body, throughout every cell, throughout every atom of your body. And just feel that feeling just moving through your body. And I want you now to imagine, that sensation emanating from your heart right through your body. And when I count to 10, your eyes will spring open, you will feel amazing. You'll have a smile on your face, you'll feel fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can let your fingers relax now because they won't be stuck anymore. And you're going to feel great. Your fingers still stuck, man. So how was that? Was that good? Brilliant. Okay, that's the way I like to be. So that's that out of the way. I'm trying to be quick because Leslie's so excited about getting up here. So IEMT, right? What this is about?
Would someone who just experienced that just kindly stand up and just let everybody know what you experienced, if you can, please? Thank you. Tell the audience. Thank you.
Couldn't move my fingers at all. Didn't feel scared, but when you said put your hands down and close your eyes, it was a lovely, surreal, calm feeling. And then all of a sudden you think of something happy and it was just like you're bubbling up. It's lovely.
Really pleased.
Really,
Thank
really,
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I was going to also say, everyone can be hypnotised, even though your fingers stick together. But at no time we would do different strategies. I don't like the word try because that suggests something can't be done. So I would do different strategies, and in fact, you don't even have to be in a deep state of hypnosis for change work to take place. You can have a very light trance. Anyway, let's move away from hypnosis quickly onto IEMT. So this is all about the eyeballs, yeah? So the eyeballs is pretty much the brain on the outside of your body, you know? Yeah? And there was a lady many years ago who discovered this technique. She was really stressed out and she was in a park and she was watching the trees swaying from left to right like that. And then all of a sudden she felt better. And she made this connection with the swaying of the trees, with the eye movements. And then she went on to develop this technique, IEMT. So basically, the idea of this is it's no good for like stopping people smoking and stuff like that. It's mainly for emotion. So if you've got an emotion, a troubling emotion, just by moving the eyes in particular movements while you think of the emotion, can actually dissolve the emotion. And why that works is when this thing's kicking off, going, whoa, on steroids, yeah, the hippocampus is flooding the body with all these chemicals, but it's the hippocampus that's supposed to put all your experiences in the right places. And when this is going mad and it's flooding your body with chemicals, it can't do that. So these emotions get trapped in the body and the nervous system. They're like in limbo. So just by me, you following my fingers while you think of an emotion that's troubling you, it will basically dissolve it. And what the hippocampus is then able to do is date stamp it and put it where it's supposed to be. So that's pretty much it, actually. The other aspect of this is we do identity, because we all have different identities. So you'll be someone different when you're at work, you'll be someone different when you're at home, you'll be someone different when you're with your kids. And what we do is we bring it all together, your identity all together, so you're operating from your current age, because like sometimes we regress to like 16 years of age, we don't even realise it, yeah? And that's because it's all out of sync. So when you're operating from your current age, you're more mature about what you're dealing with and everything. So it works on emotions, bad memories, and your identity. So there you go. Now I could do a little demonstration on that. I don't know if anyone wants to try it. Come up here. Has anyone got a really like horrible, not horrible, but like a memory that when they think about it, it's like, yeah. Anyone? Brilliant. Would you like to come up?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's your name? Carol. Yeah. Lovely to meet you. Have a seat. So, you don't have to, the other thing about this is you don't need to know any details about anything really dodgy. That's the beautiful thing about it. A lot of people, when they go and see a therapist, they're worried that they're going to have to spill their life, awful things that have happened to them, but you don't. It's like non-context. So, you've got a memory in mind, yeah? You don't have to tell me what it is, okay? Is it, when you think about it, does it feel close to you or far away? In space and time? Close. Normally, it feels close. When you think about it, is it a picture or is it a movie? Picture, okay. Is it vivid? Okay. And out of 10, 0 being no problem at all, 10 being a nightmare, where does it lie in there? 20? I don't think 20. Is it 10? Okay. So what I want you to do, Carol, this is a really important bit. You have to hold the memory, because when you're holding the memory, the brain can then fix it, basically. Yeah? So can you just close your eyes for a moment, think about that memory. When you open your eyes, hold that memory in your thoughts, and I'm going to ask you to keep that memory while I move my fingers. So what you're going to do is follow my fingers and move your eyes right to the peripherals, left and right. So you can open your eyes now. I'll show you the positions. So we're going to go over there, right to the, that's it, right to the peripherals. And then in a minute I'm going to stop and move on the angle. Yeah? So just follow my fingers. We'll go right to the peripherals of your eyes. You've got no problems with your eyes? Should have asked that to begin with. Anyway, okay, so you got that memory. Yeah? You got the memory. Okay, Carol, so just focus. Oh, this works. Okay. So just follow my fingers, okay? So here we go. So I'm going to keep telling you to hold the memory. So hold the memory for me, Carol. Follow my fingers. Hold the memory. Oh, that's good. Hold the memory. Hold the memory. That's great. Hold the memory. Hold the memory. Fantastic. Super. Sonic. Okay, now I'm going to stop in the middle. We're going to draw on that angle up there. That's it. Perfect. All the way down. All the way up. Hold on to that memory. All the way up, all the way down. Fantastic. I'm going to come back in the middle. We're going to go that way. That's it. Perfect. You're doing really well. Well done. Fantastic. Here we go. So here we go. So, have you got any pets?
Yeah.
Where we go?
Oh.
Dog. What's his name?
Reggie.
Reggie. Is he a nice doggy?
The lovely dog.
Brilliant. Probably nice to be. We've got a dog around. He's a nightmare. That's it, everyone. Okay. So let's go back to your memory. So before it felt really close, does it still feel really close? You've got to be honest. Does it feel a bit further away?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, it was very vivid before, yes? It's still as vivid, or is it?
No, I have to really push myself.
Okay. It was a 10, as you said, a 20. What number would you say it is now?
So it's about 102.
Two. Perfect. Well, give Carol a round of applause. I have to say that now that Carol's done this, I'd normally do another set and I do this, because normally most people go down to like a 5. I like to get it down to a 2. And that will carry on working for the whole week. And by the end of the week, that memory that she had will never be the same ever again. Never, ever, ever. It'll just be a normal memory. There'll be no emotion attached to it. And that's the idea of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've had lots of fun. And I hope you have a great evening tonight for Psychic. And have a great time. Thank you very much.